Good morning, traders. Welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris from Elite Currency, and let's get started right now. First of all, with euro dollar, as always. So last week, the U.S. presidential elections creating some dollar weakness as the euro dollar closes bullish. Not only that, very near the high, and it totally engulfed the bearish candle before that. So yeah, the bearish pressure didn't go as deep as I thought. I thought it would go to 115 at the very least. It only went to 116, basically 115, I guess 90. Yeah, 116 as a low. So that was soon. This is now starting to look very much like a bull flag continuation chart pattern, which indicates typically a continuation higher. Of course, these patterns can always fail, but typically we should see a continuation higher eventually. This is a candle number. When comparing to the high here, we are looking at candle number 10. So I don't think we're expecting breakout anytime in November yet, but in December or January, I think we might see that bullish breakout occur. So what does that mean? Let's take a look at the daily chart. That means that basically, I think we had, from a wave perspective, Elliott wave perspective, we had an ABC, and then a 5 wave to complete a bearish ABC pattern. That seems complete, so that could complete a wave 4. And if we look at the upside, let's squeeze this a little bit. It looks like we had a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like we can be ready for wave 5. Now, as I said on the weekly chart, we are looking at a potential breakout, but I think that November, the breakout looks a bit risky, to me at least. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's still a pullback before continuing higher later, maybe end of November or beginning of December. That's my estimate at least. So that could be a wave 1. Let's use a different color. That could be a wave 1, 2, green within blue 5. If we look at the fact that it's hitting resistance like that and a trend line like that, that wouldn't necessarily be a surprise. So looking at the 4-hour chart, I think we could see a pullback here. We see a neat 5 wave completed within that wave C. So I think we could be at a spot that some pullback might take place. Of course, it should stay above this bottom. Anything that stays above this bottom is still bullish territory and confirms the bullish outlook. But I do think that there could be a pullback, or a pullback like this, like a flag or a deeper retracement before the uptrend continues. What type of pullback? Well, we'll have to see. I think that it could be both, really, because it could be a wave 1, 2. It is potentially not unlikely or actually likely that it could be a deep pullback, maybe to the head and shoulders level like that, or this head and shoulders level like that. So wouldn't be surprised to see a retest of 117 or 117.50, for instance. This is that hourly chart, and it looks like a 5 wave pattern has been completed on this time frame, with here wave 3 and here wave 5, creating kind of a rising wedge with divergence pattern. So if price does break through the 21 EMA, a good chance to get down to the long-term moving averages and the previous support zone. We'll have to see how it retraces, if there's an ABC pattern like that, or if there's some kind of flag. So downside is likely for the moment down to 117.50, I think. And if we put a fib from here to here to show the shallow fibs, the 50 fib, 38, 61.8 fib here, all potential support in this structure and outlook. So yeah, let's see, waiting for retracement and a bounce up. Of course, if price is going to go sideways if that is correct, the weekly chart is correct, for another 2 weeks, then this bounce up might be limited to another bounce down, and it can go into a range like that. Let's see if that is correct. Of course, it doesn't have to be. It might break sooner. Maybe it makes a retracement and bounces up quicker like that, then finds the previous top and then moves down like that. In any case, that the most important is the pullback and bounce and continuation for the moment. I would be careful, though, of this target here at 119.75 and 120. After the pullback and bounce, that's definitely an area where price could struggle before I do expect a breakout later this month or beginning of December. All right, so this pullback and bounce, I think, looking pretty likely. Unless price is making a flag, then a breakout is expected, and should push us higher towards that 119.75 and 120 zone. Pound USD also had a bullish week last week, and dollar losing as well against the pound. We do have Brexit, of course, process here still ongoing. But yeah, here I was incorrect. My analysis was expecting a break, although I said wait for the break. That never happened. So from that point of view, stayed out of that mess. The support zone, ultimately, the long-term moving average is providing enough support here for a push higher. So this turned out not to be an ABC like that, but rather an ABC like this. And I'm not a big fan of the pound USD upside at this moment. It is trying to break above the 20 MA, but it's struggling, and I think it's looking quite choppy. If anything, I think it looks more, ready for retracement down to these long-term moving averages. So if it breaks through this trend line, for instance, there could be a good breakout to the downside. Counter trend one, but still one that I think might take place sometime soon. So yeah, let's see if we get that breakout to the downside, but I would expect to push lower down to 130.25 on the pound USD, which also could be a bouncing spot again when looking at the weekly chart, of course. We had a bullish candle last week when looking at the daily chart. Certainly that could be a support zone again, as we have higher lows kicking in. So that could also be a bouncing spot again for upside. If it does break to the upside, then let's take a look. I would look at the 4-hour chart. Yeah, for upside, I think the space is quite limited, to be honest. If it does push up above 132.10, we got a round level at 132.50. Doesn't look that great. Maybe on a very low time frame, like a 5-minute chart, some scalping potential trades there above for a small push up to 132.50, 132.75. But it seems very limited before it hits resistance. I'm not really a big fan of that. But yeah, so for me, it's either counter trend. Sorry about that. Counter trend push down to 132.25, 130, and then looking for a bounce, or some intraday scalping here above 132-ish, but very small space. That's it. That's my 2 cents. We'll be back on Wednesday. Wish you all great trading and a great week. Cheers. Bye-bye.